Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I last caught up on all of you, with all of you, actually, about um, what's current and what's going on. So, hopefully, everyone can hear me. Great. So, um, AI, ChatGPT, that's what seemed to be trending these days when it comes to technology and our future. I have been looking into it. I did make a video on with I did play around with it a little bit. So there's a lot of videos out there. A lot of people mention about how great it is and what promises it can bring in the future and how it'll benefit all of us. But I, as someone who takes everything with a grain of salt, I want to look at the downside and the cons of AI because I myself, as someone who's self employed and who work with people on a regular basis, am affected by this AI technology. And in the beginning, it felt like we were going in a positive direction, but the more I get into it, I can see it is not a complete answer for everything, for all our problems. So it is man made, so it has its downsides and cons. So I'm going to get right into it. So, most of these are um, the reasons why, or the cons and the downsides itself is not an answer that I generated. I have my own answers, but most of these were generated by the artificial intelligence itself. So it knows its limitations. Let's see if it matches what uh, what the current situation is. Okay, so there are several potential downsides to the development and implementation of AI technology. So the number one, so I'm going to go with 20. So there's 20 reasons why that I found. I asked the AI, tell me 20 reasons, and it gave me 20 reasons. So we'll go through it together. And me as a human, I will revise it with the AI, and I will have a you all are free to talk about it too. Tell me what you think. So, number one is job loss. All right, let me absolutely. The increasing use of AI in various industries could result, not just could result, it had resulted. Okay, I can tell you firsthand, it has resulted in job loss throughout the years. AI is not new, it's been around for a while, so it has affected people. If you're wondering, many people have gotten laid off because their jobs have been automated. People who have manual jobs have lost it. So AI is great for someone who's looking to make a lot of bucks without working with people, but that important factor, the human factor, is gone. It's missing. So if you're someone who's just focused on money, sure, AI can do a lot of things, but if you're someone who values human connection and the errors that humans make and that creative process that humans take back and forth, so it's not like a computer. With a computer, it's more instantaneous, right? It goes off of data it has, but with humans, it's more organic, and that's what I am trying to keep alive. I love AI, don't not to be discriminating of AI, but we need to take control of AI and channel it in a proper direction. Otherwise, human beings that have more potential than a technology like AI will go distinct. And one day we will look back and regret that, oh my God, maybe we shouldn't have given AI as much credit as we did. Like I'd hate for us to go 10 years down the road or even 5 years down the road to be like, oh, my uncle lost his job, my aunt lost her job, my friends lost their job, and then I made all this. And what's the point? Like, like Or let's say, like, I rely on human connections. Today I don't get as many human connections anymore because AI has taken over. So I don't even know where most of y'all are being taken by the algorithm. What kind of content is um, generated or recommended to y'all after you watch this? And that'll change how you perceive me, the experiences you have. So AI can 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 hurt people, and it has hurted me. Um, and it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful way. It can help, but it can also destruct. So be wary of that. I think once we're aware of the cons, the downsides of it, maybe we can improve that. Maybe we can uh, contain how we use AI, what kind of language we talk about it. Because all the videos that I see, as soon as ChatGPT and AI came out, everybody's talking about, like, all the videos or contents that are out there is about, oh, make millions out of AI, make money out of AI. Like, there's other things that we need to think about when it comes to technology and the future. The future, in my opinion, is not money. It's not currency. It's not monetary value. That's the honest take. I think it's all something that's outfaced. So if any one of you believes genuinely that you're gonna make all this grandiose monetary stuff and you're working hard towards it and you've achieved it, good for you. But the way that I see it, that's not the that's not that's not what we should aim for as human beings. We should aim for something more genuine, you know, because they've been doing that for centuries and clearly it failed, right? So yeah, job loss. I have people who tell me about it, and I myself have made less and less revenue because of AI. So it hurts. It hurts. So that when we lose things like jobs, people, or anything like that, what keeps it get to us together is like community, people that care about us, people that tell us our worth. Like, imagine being beat by a computer. Imagine being beat by a computer that was made to help us, but then that computer turns around and beats us to the point that we're emotionally damaged, we're mentally scarred, and we feel like we have no value to society. That's how a lot of people feel, especially the older generation who don't know, or who don't even care about AI technology. When I ask about from my mom and dad, they don't even know a lot of these stuff, right? And they're affected by it. And there's so many people who fall under this umbrella, who's affected by it. So think about those people. If you're a younger person, think about how you can ethically incorporate AI where it'll benefit the society as a whole, and not just like a tool where you're gaming to compete with one another. Imagine at the end of the game, everybody that you knew in reality is gone. When you come out of your virtual space, metaverse, or whatever, imagine our world is distracted and gone because of the simple things we do online. Like, we need to be more responsible people with what we put out there, what we share, what we say, right? So, not to scare you all about AI. AI is simply a tool that we use. It's like a hammer or a knife. We can use that to carve a beautiful sculpture, or we can use that to create harm. So I really hope I don't have to tell any of you how to use it. Use it for good. Because when you use it for good, immediately your surroundings will look good. Your surroundings will benefit. But if you use it for harm, they'll all be gone, and then you'll be out devastated thinking about maybe could have, and it's not like you could hit a reset button, have you? You know, the best thing about being in a virtual space is you can create another account. You can go somewhere else and create things in a different platform, right? But if your reality breaks down, if your reality is destruct, like how it's happening in many parts of the world right now, right? Very sad. We had all these things. I'm not going to mention which country, right? But you all know. But imagine a person who's going through destruction. Everything's collapsed, right? They can't recreate in an instance. It's not metaverse. It's not AI. It's not fantasy. It's everything that they grew up with, their identity, their families, their roots. That's more important. So if we can remind ourselves when we input into AI that we are human, I think the response from the AI will come back and keep us in that direction, right? So I'm all for technology, but if that technology is taking away good things from people who are making a livelihood, I have them reassess. We need to reassess about that. So that's number one, job loss. Very true. Okay, and then we have number two. Because when I wanted to create this live thing, I was questioning myself. I was like, should I put like an AI descriptive virtual Adam to tell you guys about things? But I'm here, I'm alive. I like doing my work. I like sitting in front of the laptop and talking to you all live. I like the mistakes that I do online. I like the errors. Like that makes me human. I don't want a computer to calculate everything and respond to you all. Like, I take pride in giving you all even the simplest emojis or the likes, because that affects me mentally, spiritually, and I go outside and I carry that energy with me. So number two, bias and discrimination. AI algorithm can perpetuate and amplify existing biases in society if the data they are trained on is biased. Very true, right? So it's just a computer. If you put in biased data, it's just going to read out the biased data. So this can result in discriminatory outcomes and affect marginalized communities. So, like I said, just go back to the beginning. I think I summarized a lot in the first 10, 12 minutes of my video. So we're just gonna go through the other reasons very quick. So this is reason number two: what understanding the cons and downsides of AI. It's could be biased and discriminatory, right? Human beings have that too. So, but imagine um, having a computer do that. It's gonna be on a whole nother level. So we gotta be conscious. That's the word. Let's be more conscious about how we use AI. And number three, lack of accountability. There is often no clear way to hold individuals or organizations responsible for the actions of AI systems, especially in the cases where the decision making process of the AI is complex and not easily understandable. Self explanatory, right? So that was number three. And I'm going to put a number on this one because I'm going to start numbering them. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. But that's the beauty of being a human being, see? Computers will put you like, we won't have, in the future, won't have grammatic. You know how many times I get recommended, don't have grammatical errors, don't have this. Like, make sure you're your writing is has an emotional tone. I'm like, but my writing style has my own tone, has my own touch, has my own, verbally it's attached to my roots and my upbringing. Imagine me trying to polish that through AI. Of course, it might look good for certain whoever that I'm trying to impress, but what about my genuine, authentic self? Would I feel at peace with that, right? So that's why I was like, I could have somebody, I could just make this look, I could have, it's my neighbors. Anyway, so sometimes I forget numbering, like the bullet points, the numbering. So this one, I think that's very sweet. That's the human quality that I forget sometimes. And I like that. And I want to retain that. I think that makes us part of the universe, that we are imperfect, you know? So AI is going to be, people are striving to make the AI technology perfect, and it will beat us because we are not perfect. So I'm asking us as a human species to take that into consideration. We're imperfect, and that's why we are the species that we are. Imagine losing that. No. So number four, uh, security risks. AI systems become more widespread. They may become targets for malicious attacks such as hacking or manipulation. Very sad. Very sad. So if something like that happens, right? So let's talk about it. Because I have a lot of people who reach out to me and they say, hey, I got hacked. I'm concerned. And it breaks my heart because it's like that feeling of being, that knowing that everything's like being hacked, gone, is devastating, right? But if you're in the virtual space and if you believe your entire existence is the virtual space, that might be your reality. But imagine you're being hacked or you're being manipulated, and then you go out of your virtual world and you look around, and there's your pet, there's your friend, there's your mom, there's your dad, there's your relatives, there's your community. At that point, no AI, no technology can manipulate or hack you because you have a tribe that you belong to. And your tribe will tell you, hey, wake up. You're not hacked. You're not manipulated. You're okay. It's just your account. It's gone. So what? It's a virtual space. In a sense, when I look at it spiritually, AI or this virtual space is like a playground for us to understand our true values as human beings. It just brings us closer to life and death and tells us how things are impermanent. So if you're hacked, if you're manipulated, if you've been locked out, if you're struggling, please know, that one step closer to being enlightened. Because the moment, I promise you, there is no, if you're eating, breathing, alive human being, no matter where you're at, if you're alive, you're not hacked. You're not manipulated. Um, there, it it takes believing that it takes a lot of what's the word? It takes a lot of especially if you're spiritual and your inner conscious and yourself. There's no way you can be hacked or manipulated, right? Because the core of those who are conscious and spiritual and good, they know whatever happens, it's just part of life. It's just part of our existence, and that too one day will go, right? So a lot of times when we are stuck in a certain space, it's just to bloom us to a better, more conscious human being. So uh, that's one more thing. So that's security risks. If you're big on security risks, you can worry about that, but I don't. You know, the more these technologies come out, even yesterday or day before, I turned off my security camera at home and I went to sleep because I'm like, I didn't realize, but I think about 5 years ago when I didn't have any damn security camera at home. I think with the rise of pandemic and us being indoors, the security cameras got sold so much. I'm not telling you guys to do the same, but I personally, I feel alhamdulillah strong enough that it's like when I was a child, when I was younger, when I was a much more economically poor place in society, I didn't have no fear. I slept very well. There was no security camera. Our doors didn't have 10 locks. We didn't have intercoms and buzzers and beeps. Yes, we knew there were thieves around. Yes, we knew there were robberies around. But alhamdulillah, that didn't affect us. It didn't happen, But if even it's just like the knowing your strength, right? Think about your hunter gatherer, your your ancestors. They didn't have even a door. Many of them slept in a cave. Imagine the kind of security risks they had. And they lived. Your genes came through. You survived. You through your ancestors. You're alive today, right? So many of this is like karma that we've created. We've created an eye to watch over us and everything else. Yeah, I guess in the long run, if you want to hold anyone accountable, you can use, a camera and whatnot. But these days, I just sleep better. Whenever I'm having a headache, I just turn off the security system and I just go to sleep because I'm like, I'm done. I don't need extra things to look into because I already have to look into and log into a lot of things with work and my daily life. Um, so this is a number four. What's number five? Number five. Let's go over this quickly because I gotta go pick up Summer. It's almost 4 o'clock, so we're into this 20 minutes. So I'm trying to wrap this up within an hour. Number five is privacy concerns. Let me just put number five. Number five, privacy concerns, the collection and storage of large amounts of data by AI. Privacy concerns, you can read it. That's why I said, like, if especially this data, they're saying if it's used for theft or misuse, right? But if we are consciously better human beings, theft, misuse would not even be in our vocabulary, right? So I think we can get there. We can be, there's if everybody just appreciated like their surroundings, what we have, there's no need to want what another person has because what you see in them, it's beautiful for them. What I see in me, it's beautiful for me. So when I see like my dog, my surroundings, my humble life, it's wow, it's I'm grateful for it, and what they have is good for them. So there's no need to. A lot of times, this happens, theft or misuse, when we want what others have and we can't achieve it, so people go the extreme to try to get someone else's. No, we are growing away from that. I genuinely think this AI, in a good way, this will be gone. In the future, we'll trust humans more. See, that's the best part. The more you give control to AI and the more it doesn't give you what you're looking for, the more you will come back to your humanity. And then you will trust and appreciate your humans a lot more. So, number six, let's go quickly. I say quickly and I keep you all talking. Number six, okay. Lack of transparency. AI systems can be difficult to sometimes can be difficult for people to understand. Yes, absolutely. Like the way that let's say I input it differently, someone who's younger than me might use it differently. Someone who's older than me might not know what to use, how to use it. So, or they might use it differently. So, uh, yes, yes, very true. Read, making it challenging for people to distrust their decisions and for accountability to be established. Number seven. Ethical concerns. As AI becomes increasingly capable, there are important ethical considerations to be taken into account, such as the use of AI for surveillance and the development of autonomous weapons. Okay. And here's more. Number eight. What are the cons? Excuse me. See that AI can't do, right? AI can't be can't be sneezing in the middle of um, that's human trait to be to have imperfections. Oh, I wouldn't even call it painful. For me, it's a beauty to be able to sneeze. We call it Alhamdulillah. In I think Christian folks say bless you when you sneeze, right? There's a reason behind that. Look it up. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But why do we say when we sneeze Alhamdulillah or bless you? Think about it, right? Um, okay, back to our topic. Understanding the cons and downsides. Dependence, very true. I've never been this dependent on technology, sadly. Um, as AI systems become more widespread, there is a risk of people become overly, there's no, it's not, no doubt about that, overly dependent on technology, which could lead to a loss of critical thinking and problem solving skills. Do you all also feel this way? I have never felt dumber in my entire life. I'll be very honest. I've 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 grown older, wiser in other like conscious way. I feel I've grown older, wiser, right? But I genuinely look back, like 10 years ago, even as far as 15, 20 years ago. I think I was a very smart human being, like 10 or 5 years ago, even because I didn't have immediate answers on my hand. Like back in the day, like even googling, right, you had to do research and then you had to think about, you had like critical thinking, problem solving, finding, like you had to make decisions like what is good. Now it's all laid out for you as easy. It's like having someone decide things for you. But do you see how that can be manipulated? If everything is decided, then we lose our sense of, I don't know, what sense of self, sense of what makes us not a cookie cutter kind of person, maybe. Yes. So I miss that. I genuinely miss the critical thinking and the problem solving aspect. Sometimes even with delivery, right? Like I use delivery service for stuff. It went from being delivered in 2 days, which was like amazing. Before it was like 7 days, 14 days, and sometimes you'll have the tracking number, sometimes you won't. It was like mysterious. And you'd wait. Some days you'd get it in the mail, some days you won't. But then it came down to 2 days. We'll make sure you get it in 2 days, whatever it is, like a simple, like diapers for Lucky back in the day, right? Because they made sure it comes in 2 days. Then it got to a point, we'll make sure we deliver it today, within a day. Then it's like, no, 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 no. Now we'll make sure you get it overnight. But sometimes I'm not ready to get it overnight. I'm not ready to have diapers at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, there's a then or 7 in the morning. My processing system, just because I ordered something, I'm not ready to like have it manifest so fast in my life. But it's making all these decisions and it's leaving us with things that we sometimes, through that critical thinking, problem solving, and understanding process, we sometimes, grow and do other things. We So now we are kind of robotic in a way. We're like, oh, I ordered this in a couple hours, it's gonna come here, and then I gotta take care of that, and then I'm off to this. So in that sense, I do feel I have lost that human part where I am more, I'd say, flowing. Now it's more kind of structured, but in a way it can be congestive. Yeah, because it's like, I don't know how to say it. You all talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna go on the next number. Yes. Here we go. Number 9. Economic inequality. Absolutely, I agree. The widespread use of AI could result in increased economic inequality as those with access to the technology and the skills to use it will have an advantage over those who don't. Again, I think I started this talk before even reading this, right? So this was coming from an authentic place, like even the AI knows. So those who don't know about AI, those who are in rural places, who might be going about their day, might have a smaller production of things, might have a more human, gradual way of doing things, when AI is now challenging them and pushing them or competing. No, not even pushing. It's the AI is just competing with them. Especially me as a creator, AI is competing with me. And it's hard for me as a creator to compete with AI because I don't have that much of an influence. I have a very small channel. I have very few people who watch and listen to me. So people like me um, are affected. That's the honest truth. And as long as I can, I will show up. But I'm not. Uh, it's sad because I know in my heart that the work that I put, the effort that I put on to my content and to coming here and connecting with people, it's being taken away, through algorithms. My people that I know are being driven to different networks, taken to different channels, taken to different places. It's heartbreaking, but as long as I can, I will be here. And the only thing that keeps me together is like Lucky, of course. Lucky's love, even even after she's gone, that keeps me in. Summer, and my friends and my community, and if my relatives are with me, and whoever comes along on this journey. So I'll be here, but I don't know for how long. Lack of creativity. Yes. Number 10. Absolutely. So this is what I already told. I think I summarized this in the first 10, 12 minutes. Lack of creativity. AI systems are designed to perform specific tasks, but they may lack creativity and imagination that human possesses, right? Like I said, when I numbered things and I didn't number things, those are human trait. Like the AI may, will never have my human trait. Maybe they can recreate me at some day when I'm gone, but this is me feeling what I'm saying as I say it. The AI will not carry my emotions as I say it. The AI is will be a robotic computer that just does its machine job, but I have human emotions and complex emotions that ranges, and a computer cannot carry that through their work. So that is the challenge I'm giving to the AI, is that you can't carry all my emotions. You can uh, try to imitate it and try to replicate it, but you cannot attain my emotions, my what makes me uniquely human. That is specifically mine, and it happens once in a lifetime. So that's why humans are valuable. You can't recreate human, the same human, a legend, whoever it is, like great people that we have lost. We just lose them. We keep their things on a book, like notes, whatever they said. You can never recreate them. As much as you want to keep a memorabilia, make them into a AI version, people will still know it's not that human, right? So lack of creativity, right? So we're talking about the cons, okay? So maybe one day I'll talk about the pros, but today I wanted to get into it. Um, but what? Number 11. Okay, I can't put it all in because it says maximum length is 240 characters. So I'm gonna cut some of this. Oh. So number 11, I'm gonna divide it into two. Unintended consequences. AI systems, as they become more advanced and integrated into society, it is possible that unintended consequences could arise. For example, let me tell you what the example is. Oh, I removed everything. Yikes. Sorry. So, cons of AI downside. Um, for example, the widespread of AI in transportation could result in reduced demand for human drivers. Absolutely, right? Like that is happening right now. That's why I'm stuck at home, because uh, it could also lead to increased traffic congestion and air pollution. That, yeah, cost. Number 11. Okay, this is a lot. Oh, there's only two more. Wait, I thought I had 20 reasons. I don't. Oh, it's only 13 reasons? I'm sorry. So we don't have a lot more to cover. See, this is human error. Don't you love it? In the future, it'll be very rare. I just made a human error. What is a human error? I told you all in the beginning that I'll have 20 reasons with the downsides of AI, cons of artificial intelligence. And I just looked at how many reasons I have. It's actually seven, and then I have six more, so that makes it 13. So, isn't it amazing? At the end of the video, you find out human errors can be pretty cool. Look at this, is going to be rare, okay? In like 10 years from now, you will not you will be reading things that are so pristine and polished that the error that people like me make will be gone. And when it's gone, and when you miss it, and we're no longer here, you'll just create an artificial version of me and go through it. So this is valuable. That's what I'm saying. Like when I see like people like my parents, my my friends, my people that I know who are not on the tee right all the time, on the tee saying the right thing at the right moment and at the to like perfection. I value that because to me that's familiarity. That's what is true. That's what is part of nature. I'm a firm believer in nature. When you look at things in like nature, like let's say when you go to a park, a nature preserve, or even when I look at summer, they are not trying to polish everything and make things present something that is the most, I don't know, the highest, most upgraded version of something, right? They're just being themselves. And the future, we're not going to have that. In the future, we'll all lack that. What makes us human and what makes us dumb, what makes us all the traits that make us human will be gone and will be like more and more AI like. Yeah. So cost. Okay, this is number what? I forgot the number. So that's my human trait. Uh, Number 12. Okay, so just remember that's number 12. Cost. Developing and implementing AI systems can be expensive. This cost may be passed on to consumers. Aha. In the form of higher prices of goods and services. Do you already see that happening? Didn't eggs go up? Today I went to I don't want to say the store, but the cheapest store. I mean, you know it. Like one of the cheaper places to grocery shop is Aldi's. Even Aldi's, the prices is not the same. So not really sure how we're gonna make it. So that's why I say hold on to the people that you know, because as long as you have a tribe, a group of people, even if it's one person, an animal, a being, that'll give you the strength to figure things out. Okay. Don't let the computer discourage you. Don't let the technology discourage you. Cost. Okay, and this is uh, the last reason. Oh, no, no, we have a little bit more. from number 12. This could make technologies inaccessible to some people and exacerbate existing economic inequalities. Preach, yes. And 13. Last one. Um, number 13 through reason why AI can be a downside. Regulation. There are currently few regulations in place to govern the development and use of AI, and those that do not exist, that those do, and those, let me read this again. Regulation. There are currently few regulations in place to govern the development and use of AI, and those that do exist may not be able to keep pace with the rapid evolution of technology. Yes. Even regulations are gonna, it's not easy. You gotta keep up with this technology. I mean, that's why I say hold on to people, good people. Hold on to good regulations. People, when people talk about regulations, most of them, I know a lot of like the younger society and people who are from different generations don't really respect and want to honor regulation. But for me, I prefer regulations in certain aspect. Like I like knowing that I can cross the street when there's a sign for me to walk, right? Because otherwise, if there's no regulations, we just imagine driving down the street would be a chaotic experience. Just like the same thing, the regulation of like having a house, right? Or, it's not perfect. A lot of times we are trying to fix the systems that we have, but imagine not having that. It's chaotic, right? Imagine that there's no certain standards to have, like when you're renting a place or something. That would be chaotic for the human, right? And that's why I personally, the older that I get, I feel like regulations are important. It holds us to a certain standard that we can, as humans, we must comply. Because and many of these regulations, have uh, survived time, a long time, because they have worked. Even ancient traditions, right? Even if we don't agree with all the religions and whatnot, yeah, we can be more human with our experience. But some of these things that were taught even in regulations for many years, traditions for over 2,000 years, our ancestors have followed it. If we keep them, I think it'll be good for us. Our ancestors and people who are part of our tradition in the past were very brilliant people. Imagine not having a computer, having to look out every day at the stars, being out in the open, taking care of herds of animals, living with different tribes, trading with different countries, navigating with no GPS. They are brilliant people. If they have created a regulation, a certain kind of rules according to that day, we can still benefit from those regulations into today's society. So I I the older that I get, I live my life according to certain regulations. I follow the discipline that I didn't follow. When I was younger, I was more lenient. I was like, oh, I used to make fun of certain traditions, even including my own. because I didn't know the importance of it. But the older that I get, and the more that I take care of Summer, and the older that my parents get, it's like, no, no, I need a certain set of ways or rules or points to live by each day. And why do you think, even with prayer, why do I do that? I don't, not necessarily if I don't do, if some people don't agree with how I pray or how I present myself, it's important for me because that disciplines me to live my life a certain way, to take care of the things that I do in a certain way, to dress a certain way, to behave a certain way. It might not be perfect, but it keeps me in the boundary of what I am supposed to be as a human being. So, regulations, if we do it with the right heart, in the right place, with good people, because oftentimes people think regulations were made by bad, like evil people. No, regulations were created by people like you and I who were trying to do good as well. Okay, so do pick a regulation that's good for you, and I will continue with my humble way of living. So, what is this is number 13, right? The last one. There are currently few regulations. So, I'm just going to complete this. You all read the last one, right? This was the last one. This could result in a lack of accountability and ethical standards in the use of AI. So that was with the last, I just continued the last point. Okay. So that concludes 51 minutes, almost under an hour. I was going to go over 20 points. I don't have 20 points, I have 13 points. And those points were brought to me by AI itself. So, and the ones that I've written down, yeah. The rest, the only thing that was presented by the AI were the ones that I uh, put on the screen. But everything else comes from within me as a human being. The first 10, 12 minutes, I think even before it told you all these points, I already know where this is going. So that's why before I tell you the benefits of AI, you as a human being, as a child. If you're younger than me, I welcome you. If I see you as, for me, if it's not to not to, I put Summer Lucky in a high pedestal. For me, they are children. Okay, so I look at them as my child. So my future generation, I see you all as my child. That's just how I see you. And before you dabble into the benefits, I want you to know the cons, the the downside of AI, because when I was younger, they told me what is we kept it, what is wrong, what is right. Right today, we can't talk like that to a lot of these folks. What is wrong, what is right. The moment I know what is wrong, I can easily be more of what is right. So I am telling you all the downsides, because otherwise, when we all just share of what's good, what's great, amazing, clap your hands and be merry about AI, there's always the opposite side. Whether you like it or not, every creation will have the other side. So if you know and consciously create whatever it is that you're trying to bring with AI, uh, if you know the downsides, you will create better products, you will create better beneficial things for humanity. So remember that, and keep in mind, AI shouldn't be your final destination. AI should not be our answer to everything. AI is just a small enhancement to our life, just like a phone, a watch. Without a watch, would you forget what time of the day it is? Without a watch, can't you look at the sun and tell me what time of the day it is? without your phone, can you not contact anyone? Will you be lost without a phone? If you are getting lost without a phone, maybe it's time for you to throw your phone away and live for 1 2 weeks without a phone. Then you will immediately learn how powerful you are and who created AI. Okay, so do not fall into believing that AI will, you know, AI might beat you in the computer game, but you are human. Humans created AI. So take a walk down your reality and uh, figure out why you're here. And if you like my stuff, if you want to see me make more content, subscribe to me. That's the only way that I know that you're going, this work should continue. Also, commenting. If folks don't comment, I truly don't know who's watching. Like, I truly don't know. Um, these streaming stuff, they're not transparent about who's watching or what they're. So, if you like more of my stuff, I'll release it. Now, I gotta go pick up my child, Summer, from uh, her day care at my mom. So, be well, everyone. Have a nice week. Um, I'm with you. Before technology, I'm for human. Before anything else, in the beginning, I am me. So uh, that's the intention that I keep. No matter what I lose, I will always be the human, the person that I am. And that is more valuable than anything. So I hope you hold on to what makes you yourself, as well as you create more avatars and more, as you discover more AI stuff, right? Keep the humanity, keep the person, the friend, the connection, the the person. Okay. All right. Bye. Gotta go.